Morning from Bali. Yay, dobre rano from Czech Republic.
I was trying to think how I was going to say good morning. Ohai gozaimasu in Japanese.
Oh, nice. Guten Morgen in German.
And what about good morning, bro? It's Kiwi.
Oh, selamat pagi.
Oh,
That's
of course,
Indonesian,
yeah.
of course. Yeah, cool. We're hanging out at what's the name of it?
Barawa Beach.
Barara Beach. Check this out.
They write it out Bravo, but you can put Derek.
Today I'm going to interview Derek. Derek is going to talk about visa situations in Indonesia. So if you want to travel or if you want to live here, how that works.
Okay.
Cool. We are going to speak about visa situations in Indonesia. Derek has been living here for about 6 months now, and before that, many times.
Yep, so I've been coming to Bali for about 3 years. I love it here. It's a really nice paradise. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, it's amazing here. So if you get the opportunity, you should come. Like Tina said, I've been living here for 6 months and there's no sign of me leaving at the moment. And I've known Tina for a couple of years. We met in Ubud and we were working in a co-working space together, I think, or met through mutual friends. And we've been keeping in touch ever since. So she's been traveling around the world. And yeah, she's back and staying here at the moment in this accommodation that I'm staying with. And she said, maybe you could talk a little bit about visas. So, I mean, ultimately, before I say that, talk about visas, it does change every so often. So obviously the best bet is to go on to the official website and check it out and just confirm everything. But I can certainly give a broad overview of the visas that you can get in Bali and what might suit you the next time you travel here. So I'll go straight into it.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
So there's 3 or 4 types. The first one is a visa on arrival, which allows you to stay here for up to 30 days. It's actually free. It used to cost you $25 US, but it's actually free now. Again, it depends on what country you're going for. For majority of countries, you're fine to come in, but again, check those official websites. So that allows you to stay here for 30 days, inclusive of the day that you arrive and the day that you leave, so be careful there. If you do overstay any of your visas, it's about $30 US a day.
A day.
Or $20 US a day. It's 300,000 rupiah, which might be about $20 US a day. So if you're weighing up the options of extending, you know, flying out of the country, coming back in, or just staying an extra day, a few days over 30 days, if you have a 30-day visa, then you may just pay the overstay. But that's getting a bit more complicated.
Yeah.
So the first one is a 30-day. You get that automatically when you arrive.
Cool.
No need to pay for anything. The next one is a 60 days. So they may ask you when you arrive at the airport, how long are you staying for? Because if you stay for more than 30 days, you want to get a 60-day.
Yeah.
And that costs you about $25 US, I think, something like that.
The first month, yeah. And then
Yeah,
you need to
so-
review.
Yeah, so you pay the money on arrival at the airport because you know you're staying more than 30 days and less than 60. And once you've paid that, you obviously come into Bali, start enjoying Bali and traveling around. At about 23 days, you need to organise to get that extension. So although you've already paid for it, you need to get the extension from 30 to 60 days. And to do that, you can use an agent, which normally costs you about 600 rupiah, which is about $40 US maybe. And you can do that through an agent, which I recommend, and that's why it costs you $40 US to do that. Or you can do it yourself, but you have to visit immigration 3 times to pick up the forms, to fill out the application, then go back to pay for it. So it's better to go through an agent.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, sure.
So if you would not go through an agent, you would need to go to Denpasar, right?
Yes, you'll need to go to Denpasar
Okay.
on 3 different occasions for immigration.
And the price for the agent, does that include the visa costs or is
Yes.
that? Okay,
Yes.
cool.
If you go through an agent, they organise everything for you. They come collect your passport from you. They do all the work, and then when you do have to go to Denpasar the one time, if you go through an agent, because they actually fingerprint you and take a photo of you. Yeah, so you only have to go the once. So it's better. It depends on. Some travellers are so budget conscious that they don't want to spend any extra money, that they don't have to, and they'd rather spend more of their time.
Going there, going
Yeah,
back.
running around and doing things.
Okay.
So we've spoken about the 30 and the 60 day. The next one is.
Yeah. Could be is a 6 months visa and maybe the business visa, or is
Yep.
it the same thing? Or?
So no. So I'll talk in general terms here because I haven't actually accessed either one of those visas, but I know about them, and I'm about to do the 6-month visa. So the 6-month visa allows you to stay here for 6 months. You don't have to travel out of the country. So with the 2-month visa or the 1-month visa, once that's up, you need to fly out and then come back when you want, whether you travel around or you fly out for a few days and come back in, and then you can start a visa once, another visa again. So the 30, 60 and 6-month visa, you're not allowed to actually work in Bali, so you're purely here as a tourist, traveling around, enjoying what Bali has to offer. So the 6-month visa is actually called a social visa. I'm about to do it at the moment, so you have to actually apply for it outside of the country. So I'm about to fly out, I'll apply for it in Singapore, and then I'll be able to come back in. There are some requirements, I'm not 100% sure of them. Look up them online. Well, that's really good English.
So yeah, okay.
So it's social visa.
Yes, and then there is.
Lastly, there's business visas and visas that you can get that allow you to work here. They're called kitas, and businesses can sponsor you and pay for you to stay in Bali so you can work. They're pretty hard to get, and I think they're about $3,000 or $4,000 Australian dollars, so I don't know what that is, 2.5 US. So if you're lucky enough to get one of those, then that's great. And obviously you can stay here and work, and there's no problems with.
How long would that go for? A few years? Unlimited, forever?
Well, as long as you're working for that company, you can have the kitas that they've assigned to you, but as soon as you leave that company, then you no longer have that kitas, and then you fall back to, you need to get a different visa, whether it's a 30, 60, 6-month visa.
Okay.
So, in summary, it depends on how long you're staying for, and if you're not sure, then yeah, I guess the 30 day is really for people that are just here for a couple of weeks. They know they're on holiday, but the others, if you know you're going to stay here for longer, then you need to look at one of the other visas.
Yeah. And the last 6 months you've been leaving the country and coming back, and leaving and coming back?
Yeah, I didn't know how long I was going to be staying, so I think initially it was for 3 weeks, and I ended up, well, I've been here for 6 months, but it's not like I went, I'm going to stay here for 6 months because I would have got the social visa. It's kind of like, oh, I've been here a month, oh, I'll stay another month, and then another month, and it just keeps rolling on. And for me to be able to stay here, every 2 months I have to fly out to Singapore for a day or a couple of days, maybe visit friends or do a few touristy things there, and then I fly back in, and then my 60 days starts again, because I pay for a visa every time I arrive, so I can have the 60 days stay.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent. Cheers. Happy travelling.
Happy traveling.